One day, a great crowd followed Jesus, eager to hear his teachings and witness his miracles. As evening approached, Jesus asked his disciples where they could find food to feed such a large crowd. Philip replied that it would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread. But a boy in the crowd offered his lunch, 5 loaves of barley bread and 2 fish. Jesus took the boy's offering, gave thanks, and began to distribute it. Miraculously, the loaves and fish multiplied, and everyone ate their fill. Afterward, the disciples gathered 12 baskets of leftover food. The crowd, amazed, recognized that Jesus was indeed the prophet who was to come into the world. This miracle teaches us that no matter how small our resources may seem, when we offer them to Jesus with faith, he can multiply them and provide for all our needs. We are reminded to trust in God's provision and power, knowing he can do more than we ask or imagine. As the crowd marveled at the miracle of the multiplied loaves and fish, many began to speak among themselves, wondering if Jesus could be the promised Messiah. They had witnessed his power to provide abundantly for their needs, just as he had fed thousands with a boy's small offering. Jesus, knowing their thoughts and the intentions of their hearts, withdrew to a mountain alone to pray, seeking quiet communion with his Father. Meanwhile, his disciples set out across the sea in a boat. As night fell, they were caught in a storm, their fear rising like the waves around them. Just as the boy had trusted Jesus with his meager lunch earlier, they were now called to trust him in a moment of great peril. Suddenly, they saw Jesus walking toward them on the water. At first, they were terrified, but he called out, reassuring them not to be afraid. Peter, inspired by faith, stepped out of the boat and walked toward Jesus. However, when he shifted his focus to the storm rather than the Savior, he began to sink. Jesus immediately reached out, caught him, and said, "You have little faith. Why did you doubt?" This story builds on the lesson of the loaves and fish, reminding us to trust Jesus fully, whether in provision or protection. Just as he multiplied a boy's small offering to meet the needs of many, he can take our smallest acts of faith and transform them into something extraordinary. And just as he calmed Peter's fears and rescued him from sinking, Jesus will meet us in our storms, teaching us to keep our eyes fixed on him. With faith, no obstacle is too great, and no need is too small for his power and care.